All right. Hello, everyone. I can see that everyone is logging in. So thank you so much for joining us for our first ever Practice Match Program Coordinator webinar. I'm very excited to present this opportunity and bring the GME community together. So today we're going to talk about the vital leadership and managerial role program coordinators play in managing and administering medical graduate education programs in a discussion led by Natasha Brox. I look forward to introducing you to her here in just a few moments. Please note that today's presentation will be recorded and it will be available to everyone. If I haven't had the chance to meet you yet at the ACGME conference or present a didactic course to your program, I'd like to introduce myself while everyone is logging on. My name's Ashley Pichard, and I am the Program Relations Manager here at Practice Match. Before joining Practice Match, I was an in-house physician recruiter, and in that role, I developed a true passion for helping physicians in their journey from training to employment. And with Practice Match, I get to take that passion to the next level by offering career guidance and mentorship to physicians from medical students preparing to apply to residency, all the way through helping residents and fellows find their dream job. I work with program coordinators every day to learn what you and your physicians need and how I can help. Thank you to those of you who participate in my surveys. I want to share a little bit about what we've done with your feedback from those surveys. So, in the last year, we have completely revamped our website at practicematch.com. We have a specific landing page for program coordinators where you can go and see what free resources are available to your program and the physicians that you work with. In addition to our CV builder, free CV review, job board, live and virtual career fairs, we've added educational webinars and didactic courses on CV preparation, interview preparation, how to conduct your job search, recruitment models, red flags to watch for, contract negotiation, compensation data, immigration assistance, student loan assistance, financial planning, insurance, and more. We now offer 12 scholarships. Some of those are specialty specific, some are open to all residents and fellows. And we've also partnered with companies who offer practice match physicians discounts on services, such as contract negotiation services. We now offer the fellowship program networking event where residents can network with fellowship programs and get a better idea of where they want to apply. And this event is free to the attendees and to the fellowship programs. Now we are adding quarterly program coordinator webinars to bring you all together. All of this is coming from the feedback that you provided in your surveys, and I thank you for the opportunity to continue to serve you. You submitted some excellent topics, by the way, for program coordinator webinars, and I'll be working to find some great guest speakers to present them. And Natasha has offered to help me with that. So, looking forward to working with her on bringing you leadership resources and career resources and things that are going to make you stronger in your role. So, if you have any questions about the things that I've mentioned above, please feel free to reach out to me. I know I owe many of you follow-up emails from the survey to get your didactic courses scheduled and get the free guidebook link sent out to you. I will be in touch. We had an overwhelming response, and I'm looking through them. I will put a link in my calendar in the chat once Natasha gets going. So, if you want to reach out to me before I get through them, you can go ahead and get them on my calendar if you would like. Please note that microphones will be muted throughout the presentation. We will have time for Q&A at the end. So if you have questions related to the topic, please feel free to ask them in the Q&A box and we'll get them answered. Now, let's dive into our presentation and meet our speaker. Natasha Brox is a highly accomplished GME coordinator, making significant contributions to the field of graduate medical education at Abrazo Health in Arizona. With an impressive career spanning over 17 years, Natasha has garnered extensive experience across various specialties from urology, family medicine, transplant to plastic surgery, culminating in her current role in emergency medicine. Natasha's commitment to elevating GME extends beyond her role as GME coordinator. She currently serves as the chair of EMARC, holds a vital position on the CORD board of directors, and actively contributes as a member of NSAMA and also on the communication board. Passionate about fostering professional growth among her peers, Natasha dedicates herself to mentoring other GME coordinators, helping them set goals and focus on their career development. She has founded a newsletter, GME Admin Insights, on LinkedIn, aimed at inspiring and informing everyone in GME to continuously learn and grow. I personally follow her newsletter, and as she begins speaking, I will share a link to her LinkedIn in the chat so you can follow her as well. I know she's got some more exciting things to come. We were just talking about her next project, so I will continue to share those things throughout the network, and I hope that you follow Natasha today on LinkedIn. Thank you so much for joining us today, Natasha.
Thank you for having me, Ashley. Thank you for that great introduction. And I want to first thank each and every one of you who are here today, who's on the webinar, for joining me. I know that it's a very busy time of year, but this is a very important topic for all GME administrators, since 9 times out of 10, we are not looked at as leaders. So even though Ashley did a great job of introduction, some of you may know me and some of you don't. Of course, again, I'm Natasha Brox. I'm a GMA coordinator. I live in Arizona, where it's sunny all the time. And I've been in GME for over 15 years. Like Ashley said, I am the chair of EMARC, and I sit on the board of directors for CORD and a member of NSAMA and on the communication committee there. Some of the fun facts is that I love to continue to grow, and I'm constantly working on my professional development. Sometimes I feel like I've started too late because I could be much further than where I am now. But the thing about it is I did start, so that counts for something. I love to advocate coordinators and coordinator wellness, since we do all the hard work. And I love policies. I love breaking them down to learn and understand them, and then seeing how they benefit us. I recently been diving into policies and have had an excellent outcome with them. So more to come on that. So let's jump right into it, shall we? So some of the objectives that we will cover today are, what is leadership? Well, let's break that down. And we will go over the comprehensive understanding of ACGME's perspective on the role of a program coordinator. And of course, we want to ensure we align with those expectations, right? Then we will cover how to demonstrate these leadership skills by effectively applying key principles of communication, teamwork, problem solving, and decision making. Okay, so the Merriam-Webster Dictionary defines leadership as an influence relationship among leaders and followers who have an end change and outcomes that reflects their shared purpose. But what does all of this mean? Leaders refer to a process or a concept where someone will take on the role of guiding or directing others. When you influence a relationship, though, the leadership involves a relationship between those taking leadership roles and those being led. This relationship is characterized by influence, meaning leaders have the ability to affect or shape the behavior, decision, and actions of their followers. Leadership is not just about their leader. It's also about those who follow. Both leaders and followers play an essential role in the leadership process. Leaders provide guidance, while followers willingly or knowingly follow that guidance, okay? So effective leadership is not just merely about maintaining the status quo. but about bringing meaningful and purposeful change. Leaders have a vision or goals they aim to achieve, and they use their influence to motivate and guide their followers toward these changes. Leadership is result oriented. We, as administrators, look for results. It's about achieving specific outcomes or goals. These outcomes can be tangible, such as improved performance or productivity, or intangible, like changing culture or values. We don't just think about ourselves or our personal goals. It often involves a collective or a shared process or purpose. We align our objectives with the interest of program, creating a sense of shared purpose and common direction. I said all of that to say what? Our leadership role is very complex. We have to exert our influence over medical students, residents, faculties, and sometimes other leadership parties to bring about meaningful and purposeful change that reflects a shared goal and objectives for our program. So here's a list of Google's rules for good leader behavior by Adam Bryant. I thought this was a great list of how leaders should behave and wanted to share with you. Now that we know what leadership is, let's see what ACGME says about it. So we know that ACGME governs all programs, and they set the policy and procedures, rules and regulations for all of us basically to follow. They set the tone for how the programs are set up and how we are to follow them. Now, when I say we, I mean all of us as a whole, the program, the coordinator, the PD, the directors, even the institution. We all must follow the ACGME rules and policies. We all know what the policies and rules for a program coordinator says. Sorry about that. It says, of course, they must have a program coordinator. We must be provided with dedicated time and support adequate for the administration of the program based upon its size and configuration. Now, let me repeat that. Dedicated time and support adequate for the administration of the program, And then, of course, it lists out the number of coordinators for the number of residents. So in the realm of program management and administration, our role assumes a significant leadership position. We bear the responsibilities for the comprehensive oversight and effective administration of our programs per ACGME. No, I am not a secretary when I am a crucial part of the leadership team. And you need me to even have a program. You need a program director, a program coordinator to have a program. So we see this encompasses a wide array of duties, including the task of ensuring strict compliance with accreditation standards. We are entrusted with meticulous oversight of program policies and procedures, the management of budgetary resources, the seamless coordination of program activities spanning from recruitment and onboarding of residents to handling detailed matters such as human resources or working with HR on FMLA considerations, the resolution of grievances, been there, contract management, timesheet tracking, and much more. So you see, Our leadership role extends to a critical function of monitoring the process and development of our residents, ensuring their growth and success along with the PD within the program's framework. We must also navigate the complex environment of annual surveys like AMA FRIDA, web ads, among others. This multifaceted portfolio of responsibilities underscores the pivotal leadership role that coordinators occupy within their programs. It is a role that demands diligence and effective and a commitment to the highest standards of professionalism and excellence. And because of all this, we are not secretaries, we are leaders. When we come to contemplate the depth of our involvement in critical decision-making processes, in close collaboration with our PDs and other leaders, it becomes evident that our role is more than just administrative functions. The strategic planning, policy development, and curriculum development we actively engage in are not just responsibilities to be taken lightly. Instead, they distinctly align with leadership responsibilities. Our participation in these endeavors signifies a profound commitment to our program's long-term success and growth. Strategic planning entails the formulation of visionary objectives and the pathways towards achieving them. Policy development necessitates the crafting of program operation guidelines, ensuring that they align with our mission and accreditation standards. The deliberate development of the curriculum underscores our commitment to providing the highest quality of education and training. In this capacity, we effectively serve as stewards of our program's future, contributing to its continued advancement. Such responsibilities mirror a hallmark of leadership, where vision, strategic planning, strategies, and policy direction merge to shape the trajectory of our programs towards sustaining success. So the ACGME knew what they were doing when they put us in charge. Here it states that we, program coordinators, are critical leadership team members and crucial to the program's success. Without us, there's no program. But as leaders, you have to not only think that you are a leader, but you have to believe it. The ACGME wants us to have leadership skills and personnel management skills. That says leadership to me. So why do we need those skills anyway? Because when we oversee a program, it doesn't matter in what capacity we oversee it. We are the ones that ensure the compliance regulations. I always refer back to this slide. I've made it maybe 2 years ago, but I refer back to this slide because this shows most of what we do. Not all, but most. We do so much and cover a lot of different tasks for our program. And I know others like the PD, the directors, our C-suite people, they don't fully understand what we do. Unless you've been in this seat, you have no idea, which is why we need to be competent at what we do. And we could add more to what's on this slide. Do you think the skills, do you have the skills? If you have the skills, are you competent? So ask yourself, will the quality of my work get noticed? And if so, notice for what? Is it notice for good or is it the bad notice? In order to be a leader and be seen as a leader, the quality of our work has to shine, as we all know. But you want your work to get noticed. as, oh, she knows what she's doing. Being educated does not make you smart, and being smart doesn't make you competent. If you were to do a self-assessment of your competencies against your current job duties, do you measure up? If you haven't done it yet, I would suggest, just seeing if how you do measure those skills with your competencies. So one day my mentor told me, do the work of the job you want, not the job you have. So if you're a program coordinator and you want to be a director, do director work. Do you know what that entails? Most people think, well, I'm not getting paid for it, so why do it? You do it because not only does it show your competencies, but you're always getting evaluated. See, residents aren't the only ones that get evaluated. We do too, and to a higher degree, because we are the ones overseeing the program. We are the ones doing the work. We are the ones going around higher learners, higher leaders, like the administration office, C-suite, and other positions. So you want everyone to know that you are competent in your work. And if you are not at that level yet, start now and work it out. Work on it. When you are competent, you are not only elevating your game, but the game of your program and organization. When you are conscious of your skills or your competencies, then you will rise to the next level of performance. Not saying that you don't have it now. I'm not saying that. But since we know we are leaders in this GME world, we have to ensure that we are competent in what we do. And we can only do that if we are conscious of our skills or lack of. And in this way, we make sure we are aligned, we are in alignment with ACGME expectations. You know what I like to do. I like to give proof points when speaking about something I do. When you give proof points, others know, oh, she knows what she's doing because it's right there in detail. You're speaking in detail. An effective program coordinator can apply key leadership principles to lead and manage their program successfully. And here are some ways you can do that. Of course, professional development. Always invest in yourself and in your leadership skills. Stay current with ACGME policies, best practices in medical education, skills through ongoing education and training. Always a good thing. Feedback loop. Establish mechanisms for feedback and evaluation. Regularly assess not just your program's outcome, but yours as well. Make data-driven adjustments. Don't just go off of what you think or what you heard. Have the proof to back it up and communicate the progress to everyone. Crisis management. We know we deal with this all the time, oh so well. But be prepared to handle crisis calmly and effectively. Develop contingency plans and ensure that you and your team knows their role. Clear communication. Maintain open and transparent communication with faculty, staff, and students. Ensure that everyone is aware of the program goals, expectations, and any changes. Decision making. Make well-informed decisions based on data and input from your team members. Consider the potential impact of decisions on the program and everyone involved. Effective delegation. We want to get things off our desk anyway. So delegate tasks and responsibility appropriately. Take into account team member strength or the areas of growth. Maybe they can help. Maybe that's your way of helping them grow. Trust your team to execute their goals. Most times, this is on us anyway, right? But when you need help, seek help. Mentorship, provide guidance and mentor others, even students when needed. Support their professional development and growth. That's what a leader does. You help others. There are so many more I could put on this list, but I feel this is the most important principle of leadership, especially in the GME world. I like this quote right here. The author is unknown, but it is so profound. When I thought about this, we as coordinators, we empower everyone else to shine, but us. We make our PD shine, the resident shine, our program shine, even our academic directors and other leaderships, we make them shine, but not ourselves. And we are the ones doing the work. That is a real leader. But if you are a GME director or academic director, engage with your staff. Try to learn and understand where they are, where they're trying to go, and help them get there. At one point in time, you were in this role, or you were trying to advance. So you know the amount of work it takes and what is needed. So help them propel to the next level. And in the same way, GME coordinators, managers, admins, see yourself as the leader that you are. We play a critical role in managing the complex operation of our programs, our leadership and managerial skills, along with our knowledge of the program requirements and regulation, makes us all well suited for this role. As the leaders we are, hone it in, take advantage of it, and let no one tell you that you are not a leader in your role. Our roles are complex. We know what it takes. And if they don't see you as a leader, make them see you as a leader. Okay, I'm finished. And again, I want to thank you so much for attending this webinar. And if you have any questions or comments, please let me know.
We do have some questions for you. I'll go ahead and start with a question from Nellie. What does the ACGME specifically do to convey to institutions and programs that program coordinators are members of the leadership team and not assistants/admin support personnel?
It really is only in the fine print, the print up here. I forgot which one it was that says it. And I do have a link to to the requirements, but if this is why every time that I speak, every time I send an email, every time I refer to my role or my position, I take the ACGME requirements, I put it in an email, and I will make my statement, and then I'll say per ACGME, like this is what it is, and I will define it out for them so they know. Even with dedicated time, if I'm working overtime, I have to get a lot done. Okay, well, per ACGME, it says this, so I need this time, or it says this, I need help, so the institution has to give me another person if they don't want me to either work overtime or what have you. So it's stated in ACGME policies, but I make sure I bring it to the forefront, since a lot of either the C-suite or sometimes, unfortunately, directors don't know what it says. So I bring it to the forefront so they will know. I just write it in a professional manner.
Good for you. Okay, do you feel that the title of coordinator is strong enough to describe/encompass all that we do? Curious of your thoughts. And that question is from Stephanie.
Not at all, which is why I've been getting a very, very, very close relationship with my RRC. And I would suggest anyone, and everyone to do the same thing. So in talking with my RRC, there's going to be a question, that comes out, every year it comes out, and she informed me that we as coordinators, we can put in there, I need, or that we want our role changed to like administrative program administrative program managers. Even though it will take a couple of years to process through, this is something that if we, especially collectively, go to our RRCs, everyone has their own specialty. If we go to ours, when the I think it was the comments come out to redo, then they will put it in there, and then and only then that is when our program has to change the title. But that's the only way. Since the ACGME right now says program coordinator, that's what we would be labeled as. But once it's switched to program managers, then that's what we would have to be labeled as, paid as, looked as, and all of that. So RRC, get very familiar with them, pick a person, talk to them daily. They're not here to, red flag your program. They are a trusted source that you can speak with and get any questions that you have answered and guided in the right direction.
Thanks for that feedback. I was curious too. I actually attended another webinar last year on that topic. It has been a hot topic for a minute now. So I was curious sort of what the plan of action is to combat that. This isn't so much a question, but it makes me curious because I'm not a program coordinator. So Diane Whitney says we shouldn't have to punch a clock either. So is it common or standard for program coordinators to not be in a salary position?
You know what? This is a perfect example. Like when I was at UT Southwestern, we were once salaried, but there was a work law that came out, which then changed the salaried positions to hourly. And they thought, and this has nothing to do with entities or it was just a workers' law, because the salaries weren't adding up to the amount of work they were doing. Now, this was over 7 years ago, I want to say, when everything changed, that I noticed it. So now they're like, okay, you have to get paid for what you work. And so it was a whole law through the government, like that. I don't know if government is the right word, but they changed the workers' rights from salary to hourly. Even in my institution lately, they've tried to make us salary, but they can't because of the laws. So I think that's the only reason why we are still hourly. So when you work overtime, you get paid overtime. You get paid for that. A lot of institutions, even businesses, depending on the grade level you were, they would make you salary so they wouldn't have to pay you more, but you would always work more. And I think that was the whole concept of when it changed at UT Southwestern, because they were going by the guidelines that they had to do.
Okay. This is for Kristen. I'm just going to read her words and tell me what advice you would offer her. Feeling discouraged to fill the role as a leader as my GME leadership has trouble showing appreciation for the work that I do as a program coordinator. How do I keep moving forward? My residents and other program coordinators are my biggest supporters, though, which is the best feeling.
You believe me, I think that we've all been in that. We've all been in that situation. And I do it for myself. I no longer do it, unfortunately, like for my institution. We don't have a GME office. I am the GME office. I no longer do it for my academic director. I just strictly do it for me. Because I know that if I did it for everyone else and I didn't get appreciated, I will burn out real quick. So I do it for me. I do it for my growth. I continue to learn. I continue to help my coordinators grow in either training them or their professionalism or what have you. That's what I do it for. And when I am focused on me and doing my work and doing anything that helps me grow, that's when I get my own fulfillment. If you constantly continue to do it for recognition for anybody in GME, for your director, for anybody else, you're not gonna last, honestly. I was even thinking about quitting GME at one point in time because it's like we do so much and nobody sees it, nobody understands it, nobody said, you know what? Thank you, Natasha, for all you do. Thank you for doing that. Thank you for doing that. Half the times, like you've just helped someone not fall on their face or get called out or whatever. But I do it for me because I know it helps me grow, it helps me focus, it helps me help I'll call us the small people because that's what they think we are, which is my other coordinators. I help them. They're frustrated. We cry together, right? So we encourage each other. But when I look at it, I look at it for me. When I want something, I'll go at it for me, and I'll get it. And that's what I was talking about policies. You don't want to give me the gratitude? Okay, well, per the policy, this is what I'm owed. This is what I need. This is what. So I do everything for me, or you will not last.
That's really good advice. Discouraging what you're describing, but it sounds like very common, and you just have to find your own sort of coping mechanisms
Right.
and the way to keep you going on. And
Exactly. And another thing is what I do is when I hit a goal or if I do something really good, I'll go out and I'll buy myself something.
I like that.
Yeah, I do. I do.
Treat yourself.
I do. I have a Pandora bracelet. I'm like, oh, I did that. I'll go get another little charm. I honestly do.
I love
And
that.
yeah, you have to.
Okay, I have another question from Annette. With new requirements, is the ACGME considering expanding the amount of staff/coordinator FTEs?
Not in the foreseeable future. But that's another thing that we can put in. I know Felicia Davis is my RRC and we speak constantly. And I think that's one thing that, she was telling us that coordinators, we don't speak up enough when the questions come. We really do think that it's only for the program directors or the RAPDs, but she said that that is for us too. So when things change in our requirements, and we don't add to it, we don't speak out, we don't put our input, then it will stay the same. But when we start speaking up and actually putting our requests in, or putting our questions in, or putting our comments in, then that's when the shift will change. So that's the only way, especially for us, they will hear us and listen to us, and start to change, how, because since we are the ones who do the work, how, it will be presented in our requirements.
Okay. Your audience is very engaged, Natasha, here. I'm trying to keep up with the questions here. This is from Jonna. I had a title change from program coordinator to program manager at my institution a while back, but I'm still referred to as a program coordinator in emails and at meetings. Should I be correcting them about my title?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And it's crazy that you asked that because I was just at a board meeting, and all the program directors were saying the same thing, that if a situation like this happens, because they were asking me, being the coordinator in the room on the board, like what, and some coordinators had said, oh no, I'm a manager. So in that meeting, when you reply to that email, let them know, thank you for, whatever. I'm the program manager of da 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 da. But let them know, as soon as it comes out of their mouth, I would say, just like when someone says, oh, Natasha Brooks, it's Natasha Brooks. Correct them. So yes, if you're in a meeting, I've done it way too many times on other issues. And if they say, our program coordinator, Natasha Brooks, say, when it's your turn, hi, yes, I'm Natasha Brooks. I'm the program manager of whatever. Let everyone know. and they will stop calling you the coordinator. But you have to, have to start speaking up for ourselves. We have to.
Next question, it's up to you if you want to answer this live or if you'd rather reach out to this person privately. You are from UTSW. What are the salary ranges of coordinators on the call and the years involved in GME? We're currently doing a study between coordinators here at our institution.
I worked at UT Southwestern. I'm now, that was in Dallas. I'm now in Arizona. So I'm no longer at UT Southwestern. But I will say that UT Southwestern, they pay pretty nicely. I mean, when I was there, they did pay pretty nicely, especially when we went from salary to hourly. But again, that was like 7 years ago. So I cannot definitively answer that one.
Okay. Someone else asked, can we have Natasha's contact information? I put your LinkedIn in the chat box. So if anyone is looking for her LinkedIn, it is there. Do you have a slide with an email or anything, Natasha? Or is LinkedIn the best way to reach you?
You know what? LinkedIn does have my, but I can put it in the chat. Can they see the chat, Ashley?
Yes.
So I'll just put it in the chat real quick.
Perfect. Is there a national rate of pay that you're aware of?
That's been going around for so many years now, but it's not. And it's great. I did a study on, well, not a study, my own personal study on it because I was going to my institution for even a cost of living raise, right? Since everything is going up on our pay. And they usually will do like what's in your region. So like I'm in Arizona, so they will do like Utah, California, Nevada, right? In our region. So you would just have to like look to see on job ads like what the rate is and go from there and do like the medium to advance and stuff like that. But they usually I spoke with my HR. That's what I'm saying. You like talk to people, like literally, you will know and learn a lot. I talked to my HR, and that is what she said that they do. They go in the region and they see what everyone else in our title is making, and then they adjust it from there.
Okay. Very good. So I just realized that all of my chats that I was putting in there while you're presenting, I actually put to hosts and panelists, and you did too. So I just put everything back in there for everyone. Hopefully you all can get that now. And I'm just trying to see if I missed any other questions because there's a lot of chatter in the Q&A. Natasha, please make sure you take a peek at that. A lot of feedback and thoughts from the participants. Great feedback, by the way. Loving the engagement in this group.
I love it. It says, I corrected my APD who calls me her admin. Exactly. Exactly. Let them know I'm not your admin. I'm the program administrator and should be addressed as such. Exactly. And you're not being like unprofessional. You're not being rude, but you're getting it across. And when they continue to hear you say it, then they will acknowledge it. And when you talk to talk and you walk to walk, they'll know, oh, okay, you know, she's about her game. Like my PD, I love my PD because he knows, like, yeah, I'm trying to get here. And so even before he knew, like he will take me to every administrative meeting with the CEO, all the C-suite, the CNO, the COO, the CFO, because he knows like he does everything medically. I do everything for the program. Like because everyone is set up differently, but for me, like I am the only one who runs the program. I have no backup. I have no assistant. I have nobody. I mean, I only have 21 residents, but I handle all of that, and the medical students and the PAs and the CME. So I handle all of that. So he knows we go and sit down and talk to the CFO. I know the budget. He doesn't. He knows what he wants to spend, but I know what we're spending, how we're spending it. I know the totals. Um, so when we go, it's like, oh snap, she's not a secretary, because they used to look at me as a glorified secretary. So, but once I start like going to the meetings and saying this and this, they were like, oh, hold on, what? Wow, who are you again? And I'm like, yeah. So, which opens the dialogue of, yeah, title program manager, and then that's a whole nother issue in itself. So, but when you have the manager after your title, you need manager pay. And that's one thing that I would always stress. Like, you go from coordinator to manager, you need manager pay. And I would fight that nail in tooth. Manager pay is what I need.
Very good suggestion. I have another question from Henry. How do we show our institution the value of program coordinators attending professional conferences such as ACGME?
You know what? There is something, this is why you need to know the policies and procedures. There's something in ACGME, and it's not on the top of my head, that, says that they have to support our professional development. Even if it's one conference a year, that's a requirement. When you know the requirements, you can use it again. No, you can use it for yourself. I won't
There
say
you go. What a positive shift.
But no, and this is another reason why I mean, they have to, they have to, it's a requirement, even if it's, like I said, once a year. And then get the backing of your PD. I know with our institution, it is one. You have to do one, and it's usually your specialty. Last year, going into this year, I did 4 because of my PD. My PD, because they get one too that the institution pays for, my PD and my APD. And so my PD was like, no. So I got my specialty. He was like, no, we're going here. Instead of paying mine, give it to her. The APD said the same thing. So that was another conference. And so it was like that was 3 conferences. And then he went to the CMO for another conference that he wanted me to go to. She needs to go to this one. The CMO approved it. And so I went to it. When you have those real conversations with your PD or your APD, sometimes even your director, when you have those real heartfelt, this is what I'm striving for, this is where I want to be, these are the steps that I'm taking for myself, and they see that you are serious in what you want, 9 times out of 10, they will help you. And this is another reason why, like, I have it in my newsletter. You need a sponsor, you need a mentor, but you also need a sponsor. They help you. It is so real. I love my mentor. It's a PD at a whole nother hospital. It's not like just another coordinator. She's a PD. She's a faculty member. She's the chair now in family medicine. So like, it's like when you have someone helping you, molding you, that's on a whole nother total level than you are, you know how to present yourself and how to come and set it up and be like, okay, this is what I want. And when they see that, especially for their entity, they will help you get there.
Very good. Okay. Let's make this the last question, and then everyone, please know that her email is in here. Can you guys see the chat now? Somebody let me know. That way you can reach out to Natasha and ask questions. But sorry, scrolling back up here. From Angie, at the ACGME meeting, they encouraged getting a mentor. As someone who is very shy, what are the benefits of having a mentor, and what is the best way to find someone that you can work well with?
The best way to get a mentor. Okay, so like me, I knew I wanted a female trailblazer. So probably about 5 years ago, I watched at the time one of our PDs, and she, even though she was a PD, she was still like, doing things and going to school and trying to do this, sitting on the board outside of our institution and just doing a lot of stuff. And I'm like, and then she kept pushing me. She kept pushing me. And I'm like, why are you pushing me? But then I started to see, oh, okay, she is a trailblazer. Maybe she wants me to be a trailblazer. And when I really grasped that, yeah, this is what I want to do anyway, I sit down with her. I'm like, you're my mentor, right? And it just went from there. So it has to be someone that, one, you can talk openly and honestly with, about anything. We even talk about personal things. And she helps me on different levels, and then vice versa. So your mentor has to be someone that you can be open with, laugh and cry with, to get you to the next level. But personally, I would say, yeah, coordinator is good. But if you can get someone that is higher ups in the ranks, like higher, like years ago, I've always looked up to Tia Drake. I don't know if you guys know her, but she's like a trailblazer in GME. So I always looked up to her when I worked at WashU, and I spoke to her one time, and I was like, wow, I want to be her. So like years later, I just kept that focus. So get someone that is on a higher level than you, because when they're up there, they're going to continue to pull you up because they're so much further than you. And get you a sponsor. A mentor is great, but a sponsor is better. You need both. So just know that.
So I said
But
it was a, go ahead.
I was gonna say, if you have any questions, like literally my email's out there, LinkedIn. If you have any questions on anything, reach out to me, let me know. And I do have some good stuff coming in the works that you guys really, really love.
I'm excited for it. I said it was the last question, but I lied because I'm going to ask one for myself and I want y'all to hear me that it matters to me. So I want to show respect when I am talking to this group of people and I am hearing coordinator is not encompassing what you all do. I'm calling this the program coordinator webinar. What should I be calling it?
You should be, I mean, is anybody saying what they think it should be called? Administrator.
Program
Somebody wants to,
administration webinar?
let me, hold on, let me, I think someone can't see our faces, Ashley. Can you see us now? Oh, program
Flipping
leadership.
through. We got program leadership webinar. Ooh, I like
Wow.
it.
Program administrator webinar. I like that. Someone, Annette says, I would not change the title until the GME changes their verbiage.
Good advice. I don't know
But I
though.
do.
I'm liking leadership. I'm liking administrator. We're going to try this on. We're going to talk about this again, Natasha. Thank you
Oh,
so much. This is an extremely engaging audience. I have learned a lot from being able to listen in today too. So I appreciate that a lot. Natasha, I appreciate your time and your leadership and you sharing all of your knowledge with all of us and all of you for being here. We are going to do this again. It will be quarterly. That's what we are committing to right now. But please keep providing feedback. Here and there, I've heard, well, I'd love to get with coordinators in my specialty and have roundtable discussions. We can do that. We have the technology to do that. So please don't hesitate to reach out to me and let me know how you want to partner with Practice Match and how we can help you. That's what we're here for. Everybody have a great day. I'm going to get this uploaded to YouTube. Everybody who is registered is going to get a link to this webinar so you can watch it again at your convenience.
thank you guys.
Bye, everyone.
Thank you.